So you want to get an e-bike? Great. You want to get out there and ride, go further than you ever gone before? Well, that's great. Until one day, your bike breaks down and no shop around you is going to help you fix it. The brand that you bought it from is no longer in business. What are you going to do? E-bike marketing these days is really top-notch. They have influencers pushing their products that don't ever actually use them. These influencers and the marketing teams at the big e-bike brands are going to be pulling at your emotions. You're going to see these videos and think, oh, that'd be so much fun. I haven't ridden a bike in years. The e-bike, the sound of it is just so effortless to ride. I think I'm going to get one of those. And then you go onto one of their websites, you purchase a $1,500 bike, and you get it, you assemble it, it's great for a few weeks, and then something happens. The reality is, a lot of these online brands offer practically no aftermarket support. A lot of them don't even have parts that they're able to send you. I can count on one hand the number of e-bike brands that I've worked with that actually supplied any aftermarket parts. The vast majority of them do not. And most of them don't even have a functioning customer service line, and it's almost impossible to reach out to them and get any type of warranty or service solved. This brand, Velo Electric, is honestly one of the better e-bike companies that I've worked with over the past few years. And even they have, I wouldn't even say a questionable warranty section, but it's just pretty par for the course for what you're getting. I know most people think a $1,500 bicycle purchase is a lot of money, and to the average consumer, it definitely is. But the realities are, you're really not paying for a top-notch product. You're essentially paying for a hub motor and a battery. The rest of the bike is pretty low quality in terms of what most people in the bike industry consider quality components. Again, not to call any one particular company out on their warranty policy, because these are literally copied and pasted for the most part in between all these companies. But let's go through Velo Electric's just for an example. Their coverage on components and structure is a 5-year warranty. This includes the frame, a rigid fork, and does not include any type of suspension fork. So if you have a suspension fork, it has to be warranted through whatever brand fork it is. And unfortunately, a lot of the forks that are spec'd on these bikes, they're just OEM Chinese branded, I'm going to say it, junk. Battery warranties are one of the big things I think people really need to pay attention to. And it's almost as if this is designed obsolescence, because the battery is only warranted up to 300 charge cycles. And I don't know about you, but if you do ride your bike often enough, and let's say you do go out for a round trip ride of 25-30 miles, a lot of times that does drain the battery close down to 20-25% of the full charge. So if you're doing that 3 or 4 times a week, you could maybe expect to get 2 years of use out of a battery, and then you're having to pay another $500 or $600 to get a new battery, and that's not including the other wear and tear on the machine itself. So at this point you might be thinking, hey, I'll just go to a bike shop and check out an e-bike, and maybe I'll buy it from a local dealer. And that could be great, unless you're buying one of these direct-to-consumer brands from a shop, because a lot of them do reach out to bike shops and have them stock their products. And you really have to know what you're getting into, just in case you do have any type of warranty issue. This little page right here is from a Facebook group, and someone posted it. They were quite upset because they purchased a e-bike from a local dealer. They had an issue, and unfortunately they moved very, very far away from the original dealer who they purchased it from. The company in question told them, hey, we need this inspected by an authorized dealer in order to provide any type of warranty. And they were unable to do that. And the reality is, there's very few dealers that are willing to work with these online brands to provide any type of warranty aftermarket service, because they're basically trying to have the dealer be the cop-out man for their issue. This post was from someone else in that Facebook group who is also working in the industry, and he says, that is a pretty standard policy for the industry. Dealers are almost always responsible for handling warranties, because they were your point of sale. The manufacturer will not have your information on file, so it makes processing a warranty time-consuming and difficult. Do you really expect a company to spend time on you when you haven't paid them a cent? You didn't buy a bike from the manufacturer, you bought it from a dealer. If you bought 15 dishwashers and you sold one that was broken, who do you think would be responsible for processing the warranty? If you purchased a toothbrush from Amazon and it did not work, would you contact the seller or the Chinese manufacturer? You would contact the seller, which in this case would be the dealer. So why am I making this video? Well, it's more or less just a warning, because I want the consumers to know when you're purchasing an e-bike, it's not like purchasing a normal bike. You can purchase a normal bike, you can spend $1,000, $1,500, and that bike will literally last you a lifetime as long as you take care of it. It's very easy to replace parts. General maintenance is easy. There's always shops. There's plenty of tutorials online. But with e-bikes, that's just not the case. Your e-bike will have a lifespan, and that lifespan is going to be determined based on that battery and the hub motor. And based on what we just saw from one example of a warranty policy, these are only warranted for a year or two. These aren't going to be lasting forever. A lot of traditional bike brands, name it Cannondale, Trek, Giant, they have lifetime warranties on their frames. They will stand behind that product for life. Now obviously there's wear and tear parts on things like tires and wheels and cranks, and things can get damaged and wear out over time. But they have your back as far as getting the structural bike replaced if there was some type of defect. Most of these online companies, they simply can't do that. For one, with an e-bike, there's just a tremendous amount of power being put out on these frames, in which while they have gone through some testing to prove that they can survive a certain amount of time under certain conditions, they're not designed to last decades. You're going to get a few years out of it, and then it's going to be time to get a new one, and then you're down another $1,500. With a traditional bike, you might have to spend $100 every year on maintenance. But guess what? That bike will literally keep rolling as long as you keep doing that. With an e-bike, as soon as that battery's dead, you're out $500-$600. And that's if the company that you purchase it from is still in business. We've seen this a lot over the past few years, where a bunch of these online e-bike companies, they're literally just slapping a brand label on an Alibaba product, shipping them over. They got a great marketing team, and then all of a sudden they're out of business. And it sucks, but you're left having to figure out what to do, and most of the time you can't do anything. So if you really want an e-bike, what would I suggest doing? I would suggest talking to your local bike shop and just seeing what they think would be the best route for you. A lot of people are a little apprehensive about walking into a shop, but these people live and breathe cycling, and if it's a good shop, they want to do anything possible to make sure you're on a bike, even if it's not purchased from them. Because the more people that are riding bikes, the greater the culture. Is just a perpetual thing where we just want more cycling, more advocacy for cycling. And whether you're an e-bike or a traditional pedal bike, we're just happy to see more butts on bikes. If you want a suggestion for me on which companies to look at, it would be the following. Electric e-bikes, I've worked with them quite a bit. That's probably the most common e-bike that we have coming into our shop. While it's not the highest quality bike, all the components work well together. Any warranty issues I've had, we've told the customer, they've contacted Electric, and parts are here within a week, and we replace them and the customer's happy, and they do a really good job. Another good company is Velitric. Had plenty of experience with these guys. I do think they make one of the better e-bikes on the market, especially for the value you get. A lot of the components are really good. Everything from the tires to the pedals to the actual hub motor and the battery seem to be really higher quality. Aventon is another brand that we've worked with before. I do like their bikes. I would say they're definitely on par with Velitric, and just everything about the bikes are just good quality. Haven't had any issues outside of one where we had a bad hub motor out of the box and reached out to the company on the customer's behalf, didn't even have them do it, and they sent us a wheel, had it in a matter of a week, and got it on the bike, and customer was happy, good to go. And they actually emailed me probably a year later and just told me they had like 1,500 miles on their bikes and they're enjoying them so much. And that about wraps it up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, maybe you have an opinion on an e-bike that you disagree with me about, post it below. Let's talk about it. See you next time.